Were you looking for the normal characters? Well, we've all been replaced. Please send help right immediately. No. No, we're fine. We're just taking a short break. You know, because everyone's entitled to a little downtime. And our counterparts, because we're going to get a little meta here, our actors, our cast, they're going to be playing different characters and not in the same teams. So, you're in for a treat. You won't know what's coming next, and that is going to be delicious.
A podcast by the Intergalactic Improv Initiative.
Antecedents, Episode 1, Conduit. Featuring the voices of Hans Cummings, Maria Damianou, Leah Ryan, Dan Spitaliere, and creator Kaya Renwick. We didn't leave Earth to be safe. I should roll. The year is 2158. Humans have only just emerged into the greater galaxy. One of them, Dr. Perry Winkle, has gathered a small multi-species team of researchers to investigate strange readings her late colleague discovered decades ago, which she now knows are emanating from Matar in the Hong system of the Armstrong Nebula.
May 25th, 2158. Terran Universal Coordinated Calendar. Armstrong Nebula. Hong system. Matar.
MSV Bosco crew, I am so jazzed that you are with me right now on this monumental mission. You have no idea what this means to me. As you all know, I am Dr. Perry Winkle, and I am so excited and so grateful that you're all on this journey with me. We're gonna learn a lot today. I just wanted you to know that your participation is appreciated, and I feel it in my bones that this will be a hell of a discovery. My dearest friend, Dr. Delphinium, was in charge of this project. We both worked pretty damn hard on it. I made a promise that we would finish what he started. He may not be here physically, but I know that in spirit he is with us. Let's be honest. Now, I know what you all are probably thinking. Dr. Perry, why am I on this assignment? Why did you reach out to me? Is my life in danger? Why couldn't you just do it yourself? You're a completely capable and powerful and a vision of a woman. Why do you need us? I chose the best and the brightest to be on my team. Even though I have this incredible biotic ability now, I am still in need of assistance, and I couldn't ask for a better crew. So when we get to this place, no matter what we may be facing, know I am here to support you, behind you. Okay? Remember, we're making history here, folks. And man, it is all the sweeter if we can savor it together. And just for the record, I did try to clone myself several times, and let's just say there can only be one. All right, speaking of one of a kind, each and every one of you, let's start some introductions, shall we?
Are we really doing this? Gila, these humans. I thought Hanar were weird. Alright, well, despite my human nickname of Cinnamon Dan, my name is Dan Kinma Vas Qwib-Qwib. This cinnamon thing comes from a mistranslation, and, well, it's stuck. It's just easier to deal with it than to try to correct everyone every time. I don't know how Dr. Perry Winkle found my information or my particular interest in AI programming, but, you see, I didn't think that I should turn her down. After all, not everyone knows about my particular fondness for seeing how AI works. After all, it is wise to know the ways of one's enemies, yes? And with the Geth out there, it is sometimes useful to know how they operate, even if, the council has decided that such research is forbidden. And plus she paid me half up front, which, that helps. So, I hope that this will be a fruitful venture for us all, and I just want to get back to the flotilla with some useful technology that perhaps we can put to use.
My name is Dr. Murro Tauger. My specialty is xenoarchaeology, and I was quite impressed with Dr. Winkle's resume as well as her tenacity. I'm the longest tenured scholar at my current place of employment, and as such my comrades are forcing me into retirement. But I have no interest in slowing down, and I will not accept their pity, nor yours. We will find the source of this mystery together, and I will enjoy shoving in my coworkers' faces.
Hi, my name is Threnn Gordon. I'm really excited to be here. I got invited to come by Dr. Perry Winkle, who's one of my personal heroes. I'm so excited to be here. I'm just taking that as a sign that I've gotten really great with my specialization, which is in transponders and gravitational force and unearthing different artifacts. So I am so excited to see where this takes us on this journey. And I'm a Leo. I really like finger painting. I just find it really, really relaxing. I know it's kind of old school, but it's just me. And I have a great green bean casserole recipe. Yeah.
The world is in perpetual pastel. Its surface has been scoured clean by the harsh winds that howl even now. Nothing but dust and echoes on this long-forgotten world of unnatural mint green. The atmosphere is entirely unbreathable, and it is absolutely frigid. You land the Bosco and drive out in your rover. You discover the radio readings are broadcasting from the bottom of a deep canyon. Between the super-ionized atmosphere of nitrogen and krypton and the depth and composition of this canyon, it's no surprise that the readings are intermittent at best. They're being broadcast on a frequency that would indicate civilization if the planet wasn't wholly uninhabitable. That means that there are artifacts down here from peoples lost to time. The path down to the source of the readings is steep, narrow, and filled with debris from untold millions of years. Was this canyon water-filled once? Was this an aquatic society? Or was this a road at some point, perhaps built for a species with narrower vehicles, or perhaps a far longer stride, indicating you stand on the shoulders of giants? When you reach the bottom of the canyon, it appears the last hypothesis is the most likely, for you find a door easily 6 times any of your height. The rover's VI chirps that the structure ahead does not appear to be a natural formation, and as you stand in awe of its sheer black panels, you reflect that that might be a little on the nose. Before any of you can argue about how to get in, your rover nudges a few meters closer as some loose rock shifts, and the door slides soundlessly into the rock at your approach, revealing a dark tunnel retreating downward. You cautiously drive in, turning on your headlights to reveal a featureless dark gray slope. The door slides shut behind you and closes with a thud. It does not reopen when you back up, nor when you turn around and approach head-on. It does not open when any of you exit the rover and approach on foot. You find no panels nor controls, whether manual or machine. When you get back in the rover, turn around again, and start down the tunnel, thin purple glowing strips appear in the walls. At the bottom of the tunnel, after descending 212 meters in elevation and traveling nearly 800 meters in distance as per your rover's VI, another similar set of doors looms out of the darkness, outlined by the same thin glowing strips. It is half the height and width of the exterior door. Your rover will not fit through. You get out and you go in. If the interior wasn't clearly made for beings at least half again your height, It would look like a standard prefab building block research station. This is an entry area. It has some blocky structures that could be anything from storage to furniture. It is dark, except for those thin strips of purple light, which line where the ceiling and walls meet. When you walk in, those lights brighten slightly, and a stuttery voice chirps and hums at you from a staticky speaker. You understand none of it. You have a limited amount of time before your oxygen runs out. You must escape the research facility and return to the Bosco.
If there is a door, then there must be a control panel for the door, or some sort of access port for the controls. Where are they? Find them. I will get in there. I will rip this damn thing open.
That sounds like a great idea, honey. And while you're at it, how about all of us just get together? Just breathe a little slowly. Just try to bring our heart rates down so we're just not using a lot of oxygen, okay? We're gonna get through this. It's all about perspective. That's our superpower. Woo-ha!
I have asthma, so I don't breathe as well as other people anyway, so that's a straight-up plus, I think.
I know you didn't just ask the Solarian to slow down.
Oh, apologies. I'm not quite well-versed with all of the species in Citadel space just yet. However, if anyone is feeling a little short of breath, get close to me. We'll start a biotic sphere and cuddle. It's also a little cold. It will be fine. Everything will be fine.
And now everyone envies the Quarian. Ha ha ha. I look around for the access panel.
I'll assist.
Give me an investigation roll, please. Since Murro is assisting, you get advantage.
Hell yeah. First roll.
Ooh, 22.
You do a quick circle of this large square room, and you see. So the door you came in, you can see the door. Like that's not hard to find. You don't see any obvious like mechanical panels. There's no like lines in the metal. Everything is a very smooth, very dark metal, except for those strips of purple light at the top. There is another door in the room. So you guys have come in. There is a door to your left on the left side. But no, even with the 22, you do not see an obvious control panel.
Naturally, we get trapped by a cryptic alien species, like the Protheans, always obscuring everything that's important. Ugh. No wonder they died.
You said that the lights were reacting when we came in.
Yes, they lightened slightly when you came in.
Do they react, like, when we approach them, or at all, like, when we're speaking?
Roll me perception.
Oh. It's a very me roll. 10.
They don't seem to be. Granted, they are, like, at least 12 feet off the ground. It's a pretty high-ceilinged room, so it's, like, you can't get close enough to them to really tell if proximity does anything. But as you're walking around the room, you're not seeing anything change.
Okay.
However, I will ask, do you walk close to the other door? Like, within 5 feet of it?
Yes, but I do want to scan for, like, a tripwire close to the other door, or anything that might be out of place.
I will say that probably would be rolled in with your other perception roll.
Okay, fair enough.
And so you don't see anything.
And hell yeah.
But you don't appear to set anything off. You don't trip over anything. But I will say that as you approach the other door, it slides open, just like the other ones have so far. So as you enter this next room, this one is about twice the size of the room you were in. It is, again, still very high-ceilinged. As you come in, you see like a smaller sub-room with low... It would be waist height for a being that is approximately 9 feet tall. It is like a low counter. There are cupboards or shelves up on the top of the wall behind it. And then to your left, there is a long shelf and counter combination that goes all the way to the end of the room and along the adjacent wall. There are 2 very long tables, that are also, again, about waist height for this taller species. And in between, there's a door on the opposite wall in the opposite corner. And it looks like a couple of large chairs, but they kind of look like weird trapezoid things. And they seem like, if you tried to sit on them, if you were like the size that would make sense, you feel like you would just sort of slide off. They look kind of more like play slides than actual seats. But yeah, you can this would appear to you to be sort of like a sized up version of a mess hall. You can see there's like a sink sort of thing as I'm assuming you guys kind of like take a few steps in and take a look, and none of you are a Volus, so I think you can all sort of see over these 4 to 4.5 foot ish counters. You guys can see what's there, and so yeah, it looks, for all intents and purposes, there's enough sort of normal things here that it's a mess hall and a kitchen.
Murro would like to test something before walking into the next room.
Okay, go ahead.
He walks before walking through the door. The lights that were lighting up and directing us. First of all, are the lights kind of like directing us towards the door?
It's more like they're just the overhead lights, and they're like motion or presence activated somehow. So when you came into the room, they brightened a little bit, and they haven't done anything yet because you haven't fully left the room.
Okay. Murro's gonna wave his hands, like, as if trying to see if the lights react to his motion directly. Test out a couple different motions of, like, trying to bring up some kind of virtual menu.
Nothing happens, but as you cross the threshold into the next room, like if your hand crosses or anything, the lights in that room, same deal, it's that top strip of light will come up. The ambient light is not to the level that you guys would expect. It is still a little dim. Whether that's because this is emergency lighting or because this species just didn't need as much light is anybody's guess.
And there's nothing by the door that reacts to his motion, no panels.
Nope.
Can I see any vents or any other small openings in this space?
Roll me either perception or investigation. 18. You don't see anything like your standard air vents, but you do see a number of thin conduits. Well, for us, it would be like water pipes running along the edge at the top of the wall. And there's maybe half a dozen of them. They're all look like they're made out of the same metal that the rest of the place is. I'd say probably the thickest one is maybe the diameter of a quarter, and the thinnest one probably maybe about the diameter of a dime.
Can we see where those pipes are leading to?
Sure. They seem to go all the way around the ceiling. A couple of them go down to various bits of the kitchen stuff, and they go into the wall where the next door goes.
Do our Omni tools have the ability to scan the pipes to see what is actually in them, whether it's water or it's an electrical conduit?
You can try.
Okay. Investigate?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. 10.
Whatever this metal is, it's an alloy that is not familiar to you, and so your scan just bounces off. You can't scan through it.
I look around for a metal object.
Can you be a little more specific?
Like a rod, a spoon, a fork, a knife, just something stick-like and metal.
Are you looking on surfaces? Are you going to, like, open doors and cabinets and drawers and stuff?
I'll start rifling through the drawers and see if I can find something.
Okay. You find, honestly, they look kind of like knitting needles. They're chopsticks, but they kind of have, like, a little hooky thing on the bottom. There's a drawer full of them.
Oh, okay. Grab, how thick are they? Like knitting needle thickness?
They come in assorted thicknesses.
Hey, yo!
Some are probably, knitting needle size. Some are probably you could probably knock people out with some of these. It's a pretty dense metal, and again, seems to be the same metal that everything else is made out of in here.
I'll grab a handful of various sizes, and then I will take the thickest one that I have and tap against the pipes with it, if I can reach them. Otherwise, I will climb up on a cabinet and do the same.
Okay, you will have to climb up on something to reach them.
Then I will climb up.
Because, again, this is like the 12-ish foot ceiling, and I don't think anybody's quite that tall. So, yeah. But, yeah, you can climb up on things. I mean, there's ways of climbing up. You tap on the pipes, and they ding. How hard are you tapping?
Just hard enough to determine whether or not they're, like, hollow?
I'd say so. Yeah, they're hollow.
Okay.
Now, are those chopsticky things magnetic by any chance? Or showing any other quality to them?
I am gonna say that they are not magnetic, but anything beyond that, you're gonna need to do some more in-depth scanning. Try to see what you can get out of them.
Can I do an in-depth scan? What would that... Okay. Let's see.
You sure can, yes.
And if you'd be so kind, what is that roll exactly?
Probably another investigate
Lovely.
scan.
Thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
You're
no
such
worries.
a sweetheart.
I would last a day in one of Dr. Winkle's classes, and then I would just get everything from the TA.
That would be me.
Cheeky. It looks like it's going to be a 14.
You've spent a little more time with them, and they are remarkably inert. You've run a little bit more of like a chemical composition scan, and you can tell it is an element that you are unfamiliar with, or an alloy that you're unfamiliar with. It is conductive, but it doesn't seem to react passively with anything, but it is conductive.
Dr. Winkle, I'm wondering what would happen if we ran, like, an electric pulse through it, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you think about that idea. I just think maybe it'd be really cool. One time, in band camp, we did a similar experiment, and it could be an idea.
I knew when I signed you up for this, because you really didn't have a choice, honey, I know. I knew I was going to fall in love with you. Because I also was from band camp. Clarinet, I don't know what you play. What did you play, honey? I need to know.
Oh my god, did we just become best friends? Because I played clarinet too. Oh my god. And then a little bit of bassoon. I don't want to brag,
of course
but
you
yeah.
do.
And honey, you read my mind. I think we should try a little bit of electricity if we can. Can I try to jumpstart this thing with a little bit of my biotic zhuzh?
Yes, you absolutely can. So that's a dark energy field more than an electric pulse, but that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. A little bit of biotic juice.
Juicy.
Yeah. As you ignite this Mass Effect field around this weird knitting needle thing, purple lines shoot down it, and it sort of looks like a holographic interface made out of biotic energy. Explodes out of the tip of it into a fork.
Oh. Look at that.
Murro, I think these humans might be dangerous.
We've known that for quite some time.
Can I do something similar to the trapezoidal chairs with my Omni tool? Just like to see if it turns it into something more traditionally chair-like?
Are you applying like an electric, like a tech charge, like an overload charge or something to it? What are you actually doing?
The idea was that there's some, Omni tools are electrically powered, so I wasn't sure if maybe there was like a...
I'm sure you can just zot
outlet.
Something, like that's...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we weren't like trying to come up with a biotic Omni tool.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not biotic.
You give it a bit of a zot, and nothing happens.
Okay.
I'm afraid I might not be of much use if nothing responds to technology. This is all biotic fields.
I could shoot it.
I'm not sure we should resort to that just yet, but...
Well, my pistol is very effective against shields and barriers.
What type of ammo are you using? What is it, like, charged with anything?
It's an Asari thing. You probably wouldn't understand.
Ooh, Asari. That's so cool.
Let me test it on the big door outside. The worst thing that could happen is nothing. The best thing that could happen, it could blow the door open and we get out of here before we die.
Assuming the door's even open.
Well, then I could shoot the chair.
Also, the worst thing that could happen is a ricochet damaging you or one of us in the room.
I think that is unlikely since it is not firing a physical projectile.
All right. I will try and take cover.
And I can duck. I will flip one of the tables on end so that I can hide behind it.
Okay. It's very heavy. You can do it, but it's very heavy.
Okay.
Might take 2 of you.
I will assist.
I'm not sure how strong Threnn is. It might take 3 of you. No.
Has unearned energy of like when boys are going to go get chairs and you're like, hell yeah, I'm also getting chairs. Fuck you guys. And you're like trying to carry as many chairs in your arms to be like, look, girls can do it too. Like,
Okay. Then you guys successfully flip one of the tables that you can take cover behind it. And yes, Cinnamon Dan, what are you shooting? And what pistol is this exactly?
It's an acolyte?
Ah, I see. Okay, and those do fire like small warp field grenades, correct? Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I have to,
Okay, what are you shooting with it?
One of the postmodern office chic chairs.
Okay. You shoot it, the little warp grenade attaches to the side, it explodes, and the biotic field flickers over it, and like this little side table interface thing appears, like, you know, like those the swing mini desks that you'd have in university that would swing down, and so it's like one of those comes up over top of the side of it.
Sure, if you were in a fancy classroom.
Yes.
wow. The implications of this alone are astounding, frankly. Honestly, this must have been a super biotic species, really advanced. Wow.
Just take a deep breath, honey.
Okay. Wait, save the oxygen. Hold on.
No.
Breathing out, if you guys couldn't tell.
I'm going to hit the other chair with the stasis.
Right, you are one of those rare Quarian vanguards. I'm so used to thinking of Quarians as like there are no there are some biotic Quarians. Okay, you hit the other one with a stasis, and the same thing happens. Another one of these little table-y things pops up and appears. Nothing else appears to be different.
Well, that's interesting.
Now, I thought I heard Threnn asking a question.
Did you say there was another door in this room?
There is, yes.
I would like to walk towards it.
It opens. Okay, so it opens into essentially a junction room with 3 more doors.
Oh, like a hallway?
Essentially, but it's more like a room. It doesn't have any length to it.
Okay. Do the 3 doors open if we step inside, or do they not?
You would have to. It seems to be waiting for you to pick a door.
Oh, is there like a hand pad or?
No, you would just. So presumably, based on what you've done so far, you just have to step towards one of the doors.
Okay.
Indicate direction.
Are the doors behind us closing when we get away from them?
Yes.
What if we go in there and 3 of us go to different doors and we open all of them at once?
That is certainly an option. I mean, in theory.
I pocket some of the 2 of the hook chopsticks. Step towards the leftmost door.
You step toward the leftmost door. It opens. As you're going through, the overhead lights are brightening as you enter each of these rooms. So this room extends to your left as you go in. On your right and in front of you, there's another one of the waist-height shelf counter things. And there are some varying bits of metal on the shelves and stuff that don't have any particular obvious use at the moment. The rest of the room is occupied by, well, they kind of look like weird statue things, but if statues were rectangular prisms, they're like longer versions of the office chair things. They sit on an incline, but they're arranged like alternating on each wall. If this were any other species and they were horizontal, you'd think this was a barracks. They're like these rectangular prisms. Again, it's the same metal that everything else is made of, and they just sort of sit on an angle one after the other, going down to the end of the room.
Okay.
Like coffins tilted against a wall kind of deal, or
you could draw that comparison, yeah.
in the previous room and in the last 3 rooms, Murro has been searching for like any kind of additional material that might help us learn more about species that live.
What sort of thing are you looking for?
Artifacts, things that could help us date this, find out more about what they physically looked like.
We know they liked uncomfortable furniture.
Roll me an insight check.
I have an archaeologist feature that gives me advantage on all rolls exploring ruins. Does this count?
Totally counts.
It does.
Yep, totally counts.
The 22.
So as you've been sort of passively and actively scanning and thinking about this, and you've done more than your time studying archaeology, the biggest things you're gathering from this are these people were tall. They were probably all biotic because everything seems to function with EZO or like a Mass Effect dark energy field. And everything is made out of this same metal. As you're spending more time with this, I'm going to say that as an STG operative, you have some active scans in your Omni tool that most people would not. And one of those is going to be radioactive isotope dating. These things have been around and sitting here for at least 100,000 years.
That fork that had been manifested out of those rods, is there any inscription on the fork? Maybe their manufacturer?
It doesn't look like it. You don't see anything that looks like writing. Have you let go of it yet?
No, I'm holding on to this thing.
Okay, then it is still a fork. It is still
a
a glowing
glorified
purple fork.
door stopper, possibly. If I can explore maybe another room.
I mean, you can sure try. If you want to try to leave it in a door, you can sure try.
That would be.
They're sliding open like 2 halves going out into the walls.
Do they have a time limit of going back in, other than the person entering the room?
If nobody's within a couple of meters of the door, it slides shut.
Okay. And are these doors in this hallway or room with 3 doors, are they also opening up again?
Yes, so you guys seem to, you are able to go back into the mess hall, you are able to go into the barracks and out of the barracks again. They are still opening and closing with you.
So I would like to go into the right door.
I'm very impressed by the lubricant they're using. I have to get a sample of it to take back to the flotilla.
This is the door opposite the barracks that you've opened. As you go in, you see 4 more of the slanted rectangular prisms, 2 on each side, and each of them is surrounded by, it looks like a glass. You don't know if it's glass or plexiglass or transparent steel or whatever. It's transparent, but it's sort of reflecting the light a little bit, with small entrances that are not, there aren't doors there. You can just go into them. So there's 4 of those, and then at the end of the room, directly across from you, there's another door, and then 2 of the waist-high counter shelving units, 1 on either side of the room. So you basically got the same outlay of the room symmetrically on either side.
Assuming their hierarchy matches ours, this would probably be a room for officers of some kind, higher leadership. Use your Mass Effect field someone on these transparent panels, out of curiosity.
I guess I'll hit one with a stasis because I don't think using charge would be productive in this situation.
I don't know if you want to run right into it, right? You stasis one of the glass walls, and this time it must be writing or else it's art. But these swirly curlicues of purple light appear. Then they swirl around, and then they go to a straight horizontal line. At what would probably be about, you guess, eye level for a being that is 9 feet tall. So you're looking up at it a little bit. It's probably at it's 7.5, 8 feet, something like that.
But it doesn't obscure view to the objects inside.
No, not at the moment.
Did you hit one of them? Or multiple ones?
Whichever one Dan fired his stasis field at.
I kind of want to try this one, the other one out. That's okay.
Okay, are you doing the same thing, like hitting the outside wall with a biotic field on the one closest to you?
Yes.
Same thing happens. You guys are probably watching closely enough that it looks like the swirly pattern is the same both times.
Are they staying up there?
The swirls happen, and then the swirls flatten into a horizontal line, and the horizontal line stays for a little bit and then fades.
Has anyone tried a Mass Effect field on the horizontal the objects inside? Either the barracks or here?
Not yet, no.
To give it a shot.
You step into the doorway and you fire another Mass Effect field at this particular horizontal-ish prism, and it lights up with biotic fields which arc over the top. And Dr. Winkle, you have a very visceral flashback to the time your VI implanted you with EZO nodes. This looks like a whole bunch of instruments, various interfaces, like arcing up around the head of this prism.
Can I try to access this thing?
What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to, like, move one?
I am too curious, and I tend to touch things when I'm probably shouldn't.
Okay, sure. So you touch the closest one, which kind of looks like a fan, sort of like a fold out fan, and you can move it. It feels a lot like a haptic interface. Ooh. But it kind of buzzes,
tickles,
and yeah, you can move it. Anybody's guess what the hell it does, but yeah, you can move it.
Should you be touching the scary, biotic, weird bed things?
Yeah, why not?
What if they had some sort of proclivity for kinky things, and this is like their sex dungeon?
Who doesn't like a good kink? Let's just try to figure out how to get out of here first, and then we can explore the kinks later.
I hope you're taking notes, Murro. We're learning about the humans.
Does anybody have Metagel or first aid experience, just in case this goes wrong?
I've got 3.
It's in my other suit.
I was a lifeguard for, like, a very short time, so I know CPR, but only for humans, so, to my non-human companions, I'm sorry.
Noted.
How effective is that CPR with all that asthma, though? No offense, but I just...
Well, no, honestly, even without, like, the breathing component, which obviously for, like, a Quarian, like, I wouldn't remove the suit, right? Like, that would be bad. But just, like, the compressions, I got out of breath very quickly in the training class. It was a big concern. I'm also not the strongest swimmer, so they fired very quickly. I will respect that decision, for sure.
Well, hopefully all the pools on this planet are frozen, so we don't have to worry about them.
Does the interface react to my Omni tool at all?
Now that it's up and functioning, as you approach your Omni tool, you are getting readings off of it. How long are you holding it there? Like, what are you doing?
So at first I was kind of curious if, like, the swirly line on the front was some kind of language that I could start to interpret, but I don't know if I have enough time for that. And then the interface kind of popped out, and so now I'm trying to see if my Omni tool can communicate with it in any way. Is it binary? Is it...
Okay.
Can I hack into it, I guess?
I was gonna say, try a hacking roll. Let's see what happens.
I can assist.
Sure. Woo. Okay, roll with advantage then.
That's a 19.
Okay.
We're both working on his Omni tool side by side, like in that episode of NCIS.
So you guys are up there with your hand, your arm over the slab and the interface coming over, and as you are scanning it and trying to, like, broadcasting to it, trying to connect to it, the interface looms down, and a couple of the arms split into an innumerable number of tiny filaments and directly bypass your haptic interface and start attempting to interface with your hard suit.
Am I in danger? Am I dying?
Good question. You are not currently taking damage.
Oh, look, it wants to make friends.
Your hard suit computer acknowledges like the intrusion, notes that like it's something is trying to like find a port, and then, well, you're STG. What are you doing with this? Are you letting it happen? Are you pulling your arm back? What's the plan?
Oh man, I just had another question like kind of come to mind, which is important, which is that am I wearing a helmet because of the?
Oh yes.
Okay, I just wanted. It's not oxygen-rich environments. It's we're limited to our suits. Okay.
Yes. The atmosphere on Matar is entirely nitrogen and krypton, and this bunker is no different. You have the oxygen in your suits and nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a fight in Murro between his curiosity and his will to survive this encounter, so I think, like, I'm immediately looking to my heartsuit readings and, like, trying to see what it's doing first, but, like, you know, I assume there's a firewall that's trying to fight this?
It doesn't seem to be accessing the software. You're not getting hacked, you're not getting intrusion alerts. But it is latched on to your wrist, like the OmniTool port. Okay? And you see a couple of purple sparks sort of flicker across the armor. They're skating underneath the kinetic barrier, underneath your shields. And they sort of skitter across. And your hard suit, for a heartbeat, flashes a suit breach warning. And then it's gone. And then your OmniTool connection, your uplink and download time go through the fucking roof. Your efficiency and of the technology between your hardsuit and your OmniTool is suddenly leagues better than it ever was before.
For everyone else, I think what you see is Murro start to, like, back up, and you see him, like, activate the blade in his OmniTool, like, just like he's going to try and slice it or, like, remove himself from the situation. But then as he monitors what's happened, he, like, stops and continues to, like, check out the readings on his OmniTool and says, I think this is okay. It does not know how to process that. Like, the Solarian mind is moving very, very fast, but he doesn't really have answers for it, so he doesn't know what to say.
Okay.
But he does retract the Omni Blade to just be like, cautiously seeing what happens next.
Okay, you're allowing it to stay connected?
Yes. With, like, ready to cut the line if it becomes dangerous, but it seems not dangerous right now.
Okay.
There has to be some risk for the STG officer. He's gonna let it happen.
Sure. So it stays connected. A few more purple sparks skitter across your hard suit. And then a second, one of the multi-interface things kind of arcs towards you, and it's almost like it's like exploring you and trying to figure something out.
Organic material. Please do not inject.
The longer you keep it attached, the higher your suit's efficiency ratings are climbing. Your shields are stronger. If there were any minor scrapes or scuffles or anything that wasn't perfect on your hard suit, it is now fixed. You are also getting readings that the inner force, the inner layer that takes the force of an impact and spreads it out. The efficiency of the polymer and the compounds inside that are also getting better. And you also note those purple sparks are they're like shooting stars all over you now.
Is it overloading, and or what is it doing to my oxygen line? Like, is it depleting oxygen from like?
It doesn't seem to be doing anything to your oxygen line.
Okay.
The second arm is aiming for it's like exploring your helmet. It hasn't locked into anything, but it's like scuttling across your helmet.
I'm not sure you should trust this thing.
And I remove myself.
Yeah, you can. You can. Well, I mean, you can try. You can step back. You see what happens.
Yeah, I would like to. I guess like I'm picturing like, okay, the tank has been full. We can put it away now and try and like step away, pull my arm back.
Okay, as you step away and you initiate like that moving back, it detaches and kind of pulls back and retracts into the same arrangement that it was when Dr. Winkle shot the first field at it.
It repaired my suit. Improved it? I think it was trying to do more, though. It's possible that the beings here are... I'm wondering if they were organic or if they were possibly, I don't know, not enough information yet.
A synthetic life form?
Possibly. There was a moment with one of the appendages that made it seem like it was searching for something more or trying to I don't know.
Whoa.
It stopped at my helmet.
I feel like I've read a book like this before. That's crazy.
Do you feel any different?
Do I?
Is there any tingling or numbness?
You feel pretty good. It might have made your oxygen filters a little better too. You feel pretty good.
I'm okay.
And Dr. Winkle is just kind of envious watching all this happen, and she's just like, I want a hit of that. I'd like to feel that.
Well, have you been staying close to the? Are you still right
I'm still
up there?
Where the console is. Yeah.
Okay. So as it retracts from Murro, it goes to you because you're the next closest, and the filamenty things are like all over you.
My arms are just wide open, and I'm just like, take me. Give me the power.
Okay.
Turning from a Halloween episode into a Valentine's Day.
The nanofilaments attach to various spots on your hard suit, and much faster than Murro's, you see your efficiency numbers climbing as well. It fixes up things. Your oxygen filters get better. Your processing speed gets better. Your barriers get better, and then you feel a very tingly sensation as it accesses your biotic amp.
Ooh, that's new.
It activates your nervous system, and you start glowing.
Whoa.
As like your barrier is like supercharged, and the entire room lights up in purple. There is writing all over the walls. There is like you've turned it on.
Phrasing.
I'm a human battery.
Hey,
Do humans normally glow?
Am I able to see is it close enough for me to see some of those inscriptions, or?
Yeah, so there's writing scrolling by on the walls. It's all still a little high, because again, like, this is built for a species that is taller than you. But I will also say that it has also altered your helmet cam, your HUD, and you can now see the dormant outline of where the biotic interfaces in the room would be when they are activated.
Okay.
And so you can see, basically, you've just discovered that this is a med bay. And it is full of possible quote unquote machines that you can activate and access. And none of the words make sense. This is all very much in a language that you have absolutely no context for. You can it looks like everything is labeled in here.
Well, I think I'd like to try to access one of those other panels, if that's possible.
Okay. You reach out for whichever one you want, and a Mass Effect field shoots from your hand and activates it, and no idea what it is. Maybe it's a scanner, but it kind of like one of those X-ray arms at the dentist, and it curves out of the ceiling and veers around and then stops because there's nothing on the slab. There's nothing to do. So you've kind of called this tool out, but it stops and it's waiting for instructions.
Does anybody want to go on the slab? No?
Well, if anybody needs their suit repaired, it would be me. And I am tempted to get an upgrade. I will go close to one of these things, but I will monitor what it's doing on my Omni tool while it's doing it.
Okay.
And try to hack it or use repair or something to try to figure out what it's doing and see if there's any way I can control it and manipulate it while it's doing it.
Roll me roll hacking or investigation, whatever you want. And I'll say you can take advantage because everybody, you're all figuring this out together. So you have a sort of a standing help action.
Okay. Hacking. Ooh, 21.
Okay. So as you step closer, it arcs out another filament interface, and it starts interfacing with you. And it takes it a little bit longer to figure you out, but then it races through, and you very quickly realize this is nanotechnology. It's nanobots. So it is connecting to your suit and then injecting these essentially invisible, microscopic nanotechnology that is integrating with your suit, figuring out what it's for based on what it's finding, and then repairing and analyzing, repairing, and making more efficient as it goes. So yeah, it's nanobots.
Well, I wonder if I can bring this back. Self-repairing suits would be very good for us.
Just Cinnamon Dan, if you don't mind if I call you that. Just know that...
Everyone else does.
Oh, well, I guess we know each other a little bit better now. Just know that this is all funded by the university, and I'll have to go through them first.
I'm sure there's enough to go around.
Are you sure you should even remove this from this facility? Would they even work if it were removed? Would it be an invasive species to all technology?
Well, we have plenty of ships in the flotilla we can test it on that are not necessarily vital.
We could always get a sample and leave it outside.
Do none of the other species in this galaxy think beyond their immediate needs?
Well, maybe if you don't treat us like a bunch of thieves and pirates all the time, maybe we would be a little bit more altruistic.
I'll take that note to command.
You do that.
Does this thing possibly replenish our oxygen? Can either of you tell us that? I know it improved the oxygen filters, but if you're identifying this as a medbay, perhaps we could use it in that means? Give ourselves some more time?
Do I get the whole biotic glowy thing going on too?
Yes. You have ESO nodes in your nervous system, so yes, you also get the biotic glow supercharge.
See, we from the Qwib-Qwib are special. Once it's finished with me, I will go to the door at the far end of the med bay.
The door on the other side of the med bay is a set of 4 single rooms in a small hallway. The first 2, the doors open as you pass by because it's fairly tight quarters. The first 2 open as you pass by. They are uninhabited and blank, and there's nothing in them. As you go forward to the last 2, the room on your left, and you also have on your HUD, you can see where there would be the biotic interfaces if you were to activate them. The one on your left, it slopes in the center down to a grate, and you can see a biotic interface to be on the top that appears to... It's a whole bunch of these nano interfaces that go down. The room on your right is also one of the empty rooms.
Don't go in the room with the sluice grate on the floor. Nothing good will come of it.
I'm gonna go in that room. I think that's... I just want to try it. There's no risk, no reward.
It's like the most human response.
I don't have anything to lose.
Do you have next of kin we should notify if it liquefies you?
You know, when I found out that I was getting chosen to go on this expedition, I think I told all my friends I could literally die happy. So, you know, it's all good. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay, so Dr. Winkle, you are going into that room on the left. Are you activating the interface?
Gently, yes.
It surges to life, and the arms all come down towards you and start taking apart your helmet.
Oh, jeez.
Is
Is there any way for me to resist this?
Well, the door hasn't closed yet, so you could back up, or you could tell it to stop.
Stop, please.
Okay, you tell it to stop. You cut the current, as it were. It's not molecular, right? And so it's taken off like the top layer of like the carbon plating. You haven't lost containment for your oxygen yet.
Man, now I'm thinking, what if it was taking the old helmet and making a new one over it? But I'm gonna just...
Or it was taking the old head and making a new one.
Yes. Very true.
Perhaps we should get going.
Good idea.
We are on a limited
Good
time
idea,
here.
Good idea. Let's try another room, I guess. I'm gonna just get out of this room.
Does Threnn want to get a hit of the suit enhancing beds there?
I don't have any biotics, but yeah, sure. I'll climb on, I suppose.
As you approach, it does the same thing for you as it did for Murro. It fixes up your suit, it efficiencies your oxygen filters and everything else. Otherwise, yeah, you don't get glowy, unfortunately.
Can I get my suit fixed too? Can I go back there and knit up what they just opened?
Yeah, you can, and
Okay,
it does. It polishes up the top of your helmet and fixes you up.
Nice.
Okay, so are you guys going into the last door?
I have a really quick thought.
Yep.
I know, like, my suit has to stay on. Do I have anything with me, like food, rations, something that is organic?
I mean, that's up to you.
I have a tube of nutrient paste.
Whether you took rations with you or something. Yeah, nutrient, yeah. What are you going to do with it?
I would like to see what the interface does to something purely organic and not have a hard suit between it.
So are you like squeezing a bit of nutrient paste out of the end of the tube, like
I guess,
toothpaste
yeah,
tube?
if that's what I have.
And holding it up to the...
Yeah, or just like, is there like a surface I can spread it on and then like back away?
I mean, sure, you could just put it on like the prismy thing, just like smear some across it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I did.
I have a fork. Do you want the fork?
The fork!
I could give you the fork.
Use the fork.
Use the fork.
So, however you smear the nutrient paste over the prism, it doesn't appear to do anything to it.
Well, to be fair, it's not really good food.
Well, at least momentarily reassuring. Let's move on.
All right, you guys open the last door. What immediately catches your eye is there's another one of those glass walls across the entire other side of the room. And on the other side of that, it looks like an upside down cephalopod. So this like dark black bulbous shape with large tentacular things arcing out of it. So it's sort of like a flower, sort of like a sea creature. And the interior of it is glowing bright, bright blue. It appears to have been like excavated out of, so the other side of it is a natural cave wall. So everything else to this point has been this dark metal, but this is a natural cave wall on the other side that has been excavated out around this. And this is, you've all been in innumerable laboratories over the courses of your careers. This is a research lab if you've ever seen one. Dan and Perry, you see all sorts of dormant biotic interfaces that are ready to be pulled up out of the counters. This is quite a large room, quite a long room. All the way to the right on the adjacent wall, there's another door. And sort of kitty corner to that, so on the glass wall, at the end, the right end of the glass wall, there is a door that is slightly ajar.
Are there any readings? Murro will ask Periwinkle very explicitly, does anything here match your former compatriots' messages, readings, that hum?
That would have to be probably an investigation or like something you'd have to do a scan to see if anything in here is lining up with that.
Also, do we have any context for the cephalopod-looking thing?
You would not. Very unlikely.
It's probably some ancestor of the Hanar.
I would let Murro make a private history check to see if any of his STG missions have had him in contact with anything like this.
Exploring ruins?
Yes, that would count, yep. There's some answering DMs in the background.
How you doing, Threnn? Okay?
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared, but yeah, it's all for science, right?
Right.
I'm really grateful that you invited me, so thanks a lot, and I feel like I've seen so many cool things here too, so that's been really awesome. I'm trying to focus on that.
I think we've probably seen enough of the giant, creepy monster Hanar thing, and probably should go somewhere else.
Okay. I've answered everybody, so I can check in with y'all again. Okay, what are you doing in the room? What's the plan, guys?
Leaving. It's time to leave.
I agree.
Kind of want to explore a little bit. We might find another way out. Heading towards that door that's somewhat ajar.
There's a glass wall we can see through. There's no door there.
So we can creep? Just a little bit, Doesn't hurt, we're here.
I would like to creep.
We don't need to go where the creepy Hanar thing is.
I would like to creep.
Okay, Threnn, are you approaching?
Yes.
Okay, so Threnn, as you go down the between the big tables, as you approach the door, you realize that there is something in the door keeping it from shutting. And I would like you to roll me perception, please. No, sorry, insight.
Okay. I'm not as good at insight.
I feel like we should maybe stop the humans from doing this, but then again, they'll never learn if they don't make mistakes.
It's a 10. And making mistakes is part of science. Let's go.
It's true. So it takes you a minute to figure it out, but you've done enough archaeology classes that you're starting, and you're meeting aliens. Aliens are real. You learned this last year, less than a year ago. And so all of this churning around in your brain, you realize that's an alien skeleton that is holding the door closed. It looks more like a robot skeleton, like it is all metal, but there's definitely bits missing.
Immediately scanning with my Omni tool.
Okay, with your new and improved Omni tool, you see that it is alive with nanobot activity. The organic parts have long since desiccated and rotted away. This thing is like 100,000 plus years old.
Guys, come look at this. This is crazy.
You've taken your information?
Yes, I'm scanning a lot of this and retrieving all that data.
Good. Close the door.
You will have to haul the skeleton out to close the door.
Can I push it in?
Can I shoot it?
Are you guys all like going and looking at it, or is Threnn still the only one there?
And is there like a clear cause of death?
Good question.
Crushed by a door.
Can we see inside the room that the skeleton's in?
Well, you can, so the other side, it is in the door that is going to the great big glowing artifact. And so it is holding that door slightly open. It is supine on the ground. This thing is quite tall, so we're in the 9 to 10 foot range. All of its limbs are very long. So think like a little bit Slender Man. Think like, biotic, robotic Slender Man sort of deal.
That's not making it better.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
Oh, it's creepier. Cool.
Yes! The skull is also longer and sort of pointed. And again, and this is the skeleton. This is this being's mechanical or robotic or cybernetic parts. You can't tell if this was an exoskeleton or an endoskeleton. You don't have enough context. But yeah, this thing, if it stood, probably the torso is the shorter part of it. The legs are very long. The arms would probably go down to about its knees. You can't tell what it would have had for hands. They just sort of end in nubs. Maybe those were organic, maybe they were biotic, hard to know. As you're scanning it, there are nodes of element 0 embedded within the skeleton. In theory, you could try to, activate it, if you wanted to.
Nope.
It looks like, based on how it has fallen, it was trying to go in.
Could I wear it as an exoskeleton?
You could try.
That's so tempting. I'll think about it. I'd like to look at maybe some of the other consoles first.
I love that Maria's first.
The scariest thing that has happened in this episode thus far is one of the players asking if they could wear another thing as a suit.
As the first thought too, not like a last resort. It's like immediately, can I wear it as a skin suit?
Doesn't have skin. There's no organic.
I'll say, Perry, as you're exploring these consoles, they look like, as far as you can tell, for 100,000-year-old technology. Mass spectrometer, radiology. It's a research lab. They were trying to research the thing behind the glass. Hey, Threnn, make me a wisdom save.
Are humans okay? Are humans okay? I mean, it seems like there's something wrong with you.
Natural 20, bitch. Let's go.
Okay.
Yay!
You very much want to continue investigating. You are here with your hero and everything is great.
Yes!
So proud of you.
Nat 20s are supposed to succeed, Kaya!
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
Honestly, I think we should try it. I think you were right on the money to put it on as an exosuit. You're so brilliant, Doctor. I am just so lucky to be here shadowing everything that you're saying because I just, wow, let's do that.
Maybe I can wait on the far end of the room while they do this.
Why should we wait?
Oh, you want to leave?
Yes, I want to leave. These two come into a facility where 100,000 years ago all of its residents have deceased, and they want to wear them as a suit and then go see the one thing still active in this facility? Yes, I'm a scientist, but you have to know when to leave.
But that's the point. We don't know how to leave.
I agree. You know, I don't think humans are going to make it very far with the council.
I beg to differ. We're go-getters.
Like 10 years or so, and they'll be quarantined away and looked on worse than even us.
It's possibly not a good representation.
If I could find a way to patent this exosuit, we'll be on top.
We should leave.
Imagine the papers that we could write, the theses. Oh my god,
But maybe I could use this suit to bust out through these walls and we can escape, you know? There's possibilities here. There's options. We have options. I think.
Does the door that goes to the next room open?
So there's the door that the skeleton is stuck in.
Yeah,
and there's
not
another
that one.
door. The other door? You guys are close enough that it opens and it's a storage room.
Oh, good. Nothing to look at in there. Let's go back to the to the little hub room.
Well, we know biotics activate things. Possibly it activates the first door we pass through.
You should poke the skeleton.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, has anybody touched it or seen if it read?
I don't think anyone's touched it yet. Are you touching it, Perry, or is Threnn touching it?
Fork.
Not the fork.
What, are you going to eat it?
Okay, yeah, sure. You touch it with the fork that you've been carrying around this whole time, and the Mass Effect field that is still active, turning this thing into a fork, transfers to the skeleton, and it starts a shiver runs through it. And in your enhanced vision through your HUD, the nanobots are like, oh, lunchtime! And it start just skittering, but it's not enough to make it move. The fork, it was like a teensy little taste.
It ate the biotic field?
I suppose, you probably would have felt a little bit of a dimming of it as you transferred some of the energy through to it. It didn't, reach out and nom it, but a small transfer of energy, yes.
So it's eating metal, or is it eating the nanobots that were on?
No, the biotic field.
It was dormant, and you're bringing it back to life.
Yeah. But the fork just gave it, a little taste. It wasn't enough to, actually activate it.
Was that residue from my biotic field?
The one that you activated the fork with. So, a little bit, but you're so super powered now because the nanobots tuned you up, and they're still tuned. You are feeling, for 60 whatever, you feel fucking fantastic.
Is there any way that I can use the, souped up nanobots in my suit to get information from these research panels, logs?
Yeah, you can download things. You can't understand them, but you can download them.
Okay, well, research mind overridden by incapability of understanding, so I'm out.
I mean, you haven't tried to decode it yet.
I will try. I wanted to before.
Okay, that would be a
Let's go. You got this, Dan.
History, I guess.
Can I also try to decode it as well?
Yeah, you guys can. Yeah, you guys can do it together. Whoever has the highest, you can roll with advantage to try to decode it.
I have a +6 to history.
+5.
Okay, so Dan, you roll with advantage because you've got the higher.
I think I roll with advantage anyway. But,
Wait, yeah, because it's an archaeologist.
Yes, it's archaeological
So
and ruin,
can you roll 3 times?
I suppose so, yeah. Double advantage, why not?
okay. A 17.
You've seen enough that you've managed to cobble together a program that you think will do it, but it's going to take a couple of minutes.
Okay. I'm going to back away from the door and back to where we came from, and I'm going to let that program do what it's doing, and I'm going to continue to say, we need to leave.
What are you doing, Perry?
Well, I don't want to be a snack. I don't want to become a snack. I feel like this thing is feeding off of my biotic energy. So, can we hop?
So you don't feel like you're a little hungry, but it's just it's like powering it up.
Oh, I'm hungry, not the skeleton.
Yeah, like it's so when you use your biotics, you use extra calories and you gotta eat to refuel.
Am I gonna become Pac-Man?
I don't know.
'Cause I've played that game a couple of times. I was really good at it. All right, shoot. Oh, the thrill. I do want to try, but, can I, before I decide to, embrace this machine, can I jump over it or, like, walk around it?
You could climb over it, sure, yeah.
Can I also, like, observe the professor and get some sense of if this is affecting her in any way, or...
Would you like to do an insight roll?
I really would.
Okay.
And it's a natural 1.
The dice giveth.
You are so overcome by, like, hero worship of Dr. Winkle, she could kill someone in this moment. You'd be like, yep, backed up by the data.
Hell yeah.
Don't be too quick to embrace the machines. You know, we had a whole war about this, and it didn't turn out well for us. We got kicked off the council, and now we lost our planet.
I simply just, like, raised my fist and go... Women in STEM. Let's go.
Perry, you're climbing over the skeleton into the room with the artifact?
Right. And when I am climbing over this thing, do I sense anything?
So you're still glowing with biotic energy. So every time you touch it, more is transferring over, and it definitely seems to be powering up. I'd say it's probably like 50% mobile now. It's sort of like twitching and sort of and moving. It doesn't seem, it's not doing anything yet, but it's like it's glowing a little bit more. As you cross into the room, I would like you to make me another wisdom save, please.
That's 11.
The object before you strikes you as one of the most beautiful things you have ever seen. You have beheld many wonders in your 6 decades in the galaxy, but perhaps none so beautiful as this. The symmetrical asymmetry of the arcing tentacles things, the unearthly glow speaks of wonders beyond your comprehension. How lucky are you that you were able to follow this signal through eons, across tens of thousands of light years? Dell was onto something and he had no idea what, and you're gonna bring it back to the whole galaxy. This is the key. You had no idea biotics could do this sort of thing, but getting that suit on, or putting that, you can repurpose what these people were learning and understanding here, and you can show the galaxy that look what humanity can do. Look what you discovered, and it's been less than a year. You have visions of clearing all of the bad blood after the First Contact War. This amazing archaeological find. If this bunker is 100,000 years old, how old is this artifact? You have no idea. But it is so beautiful. And the way to bring it to the rest of the galaxy is right there.
Well, this could change everything. I'm like looking back at my companions and I inch a little closer, but I'm thinking about Threnn, and I don't know if this decision that I'm about to make is possibly going to end my life or potentially others, and I feel quite responsible for them. Is there any way that I can at least scan this thing without being assimilated into it? Yeah.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Okay. So I'm going to scan it with my Omni tool. How far away am I from this thing?
You're probably like, I don't know, a dozen meters?
Okay.
It's pretty close.
So we're going to scan it first, because it seems too good to be true. And I am a risk taker, but again, if it was just me, it's a whole nother story. So...
Your Omni tool spits back readings that are absolutely incomprehensible. Whatever this thing is made of, whatever energy it's putting off, is beyond the comprehension, even of your nanobot-enhanced Omni tool.
Murro, are you almost finished with those translations, or...?
Yeah, how is my translation software going?
Well, what room are you in?
I am in the... Correct me if I'm wrong, but Winkle is in the curved part of the room, right?
That's correct.
I am on the other side, looking at her through the glass.
This has been long enough that your program has finished, and on this incredibly high frequency, you get this. So this is the message that Dell picked up decades ago. You would guess based on what Dr. Winkle has told you. Containment breached. Assistance requested. And it just repeats and repeats and repeats.
You need to get out of there. We need to close this door, and we need to leave.
Can I hear him through the glass?
Yeah, the door is slightly open, so you can hear him, yeah.
Okay.
Because you haven't moved the skeleton yet, so.
Oh, yes. And can I do, like, a acrobatics check to see if I could, like...
Get over
jump over the skeleton? Because I feel a little too spooked right now, and I trust the translation.
I would like another...
Oh, no.
I would like another wisdom save, please.
Okay. 12.
How dare he? How dare he try to stop you? You have to bring this to the galaxy.
Professor, I really hate to say it, because I'm really excited about this, but I think he might actually be right.
Threnn, I'm gonna need a charm roll.
Oh, no!
At disadvantage.
Oh, no, double, oh no. Oh, okay. We rolled a 16 and a 17, so suck it.
Okay, then I need a resolve roll from Perry. Also at disadvantage.
12.
She wants to take your paper.
I don't.
She wants this for herself. That little bitch, you brought her all the way out here. You saw potential in her, and how does she pay you back?
Oh no.
God, this is fun.
Dr. Perry, no, I said I would never do anything like that.
Okay, no, Threnn, she hasn't said anything. You can't react to me.
Sorry, guys.
Threnn, do you not see the potential we have here? I took you on this mission because I believe you to be the future. And this is possibly my swan song. I don't know if even the Ezo that I've implanted is gonna go volatile on me. How do I know that I can trust you?
You can trust me.
Can you help me over if I ask for your hand? Can you help me get to the other side of this machine?
Of course.
Maria, I'm gonna need another wisdom save from you, and you're gonna need to tell me what it is in DM.
Cool. Well, Threnn's approaching and holding out her hand.
I want to know what Dan's doing.
I'm just face palming and shaking my head sadly. Oh, these poor ignorant humans. They should know better than to touch strange 100,000-year-old skeletons in creepy ruins.
Winkle hasn't really said any of her intentions out loud about, like...
No, she has not. Nope. She is standing there clearly having a crisis of decision here.
Phew. Okay. Can I have your hand?
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Yes. Yes, it will.
Insight check.
Okay, roll me an insight check.
The speed that Dan said that.
The human stuck in the thing with the object going, everything's going to be okay. No, fuck that. It's a 13, unfortunately. But
Okay, Perry, I need a deception check.
Oh, no. I forgot my charisma's -1. 6.
Doesn't look like she's going for a nice friendly hop over the skeleton.
Threnn, stand back. Something is happening to your mentor. She is not being truthful. I do not want her to pull you into that room with her. Dr. Winkle, it is time for you to leave of your own ability. You climbed over the skeleton to get in. You can do so to get out. We need to leave.
But this might be the chance, the opportunity for us to leave this facility. Wearing this suit, taking this artifact, it might not only help with our survival, but just advance all sapient life.
The message your compatriot received was that the containment was breached and assistance was required. This dead skeleton in the deepest reaches of this laboratory was not trying to leave with this. It was trying to contain it. It is not our key to leave. It is the key to our doom.
Charm or intimidate, please.
We have data from the scans, so we'll still take information and be able to help with societal advancement if there is anything. I'm just trying to help Dan. Can he have advantage?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give him.
Thank you.
That's a help action. You can roll whichever one you want. With advantage.
Okay, thank you. I rolled a 19 total twice.
Let's go!
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Resolve, please.
This is intimidation as
Perry?
I'm starting to lean into my SDG training.
Okay.
That's a nat one. Yeah.
Yeah, nat one. Yep. If you don't listen to him, then you are struck in this moment with two possibilities. You can leave with them and tell of this place, or you can kill them all and leave and tell of this place.
Well,
Woof.
why am I thinking about this? I'd like to leave with them. With whatever little humanity I have left in me.
Okay, so you're just gonna leave? You're gonna try to leave?
I'm going to try.
Okay. You're just gonna walk over the skeleton?
Can I leap?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
I have never seen a player want a nat 1 more than you right now. Like, I really want to jump over this body.
15.
Okay. That's you manage it. The problem is it's still stuck in the door. So you can't close the door.
Who wants to help me move this skeleton?
I'm not sure with my biotics it would be a good idea for me to touch it.
I'll do it.
Okay, then I need a combined athletics check from Murro and Threnn to move the skeleton.
Okay.
I'm not strong.
I'll ready my pistol. If anything really bad happens, I'm shooting them.
It's an 11.
And a 12.
It's tough. The thing's pretty heavy, but you guys managed to haul it out. It's a good thing, like, the ends are, like slidey. Like, they're just metal, right? So you managed to haul it out. The door shuts, and the message that has been blaring, now that you know what it is, stops.
Like, the frequency is gone, right?
Yeah, like the frequency, the containment breached, assistance requested. That message has stopped.
Yay, we assisted.
Hey, folks. What was that all about, huh? Can we kind of forget that happened? I did make it over, right?
You did make it over.
Okay.
Yep, you made it over. You're not stuck in there.
Or I'm not indoctrinated.
Are you guys leaving? You guys gonna try to leave?
I mean, has my software given me, like, is there enough of a translation that I could try and, like, I don't know, how convinced I am that this is sealed? Like, how easy is it to open again?
Well, seeing as you're all standing there and it's not opening back up, so as you're checking your readouts, it would need like the okay or permission from a research supervisor or something to open that door.
Was that skeleton a research
Okay.
supervisor? Or can we investigate?
You'd have to do some looking. It does say so now that you've gotten through this translation module, you are able to tell that the facility went into lockdown mode because the containment was breached and there was nobody to fix it. It presumed you were the assistance team that was sent, and so it locked behind you in case you couldn't manage it. But now containment has been resealed and you can leave.
Yay!
Capital idea. Let's leave.
Let's go.
I'm down to leave.
We have our magic forks.
I'm gonna take scans of each room as we're backtracking just for data research.
Who has the highest bonus to perception as you're leaving?
I have a +4.
I have a +3.
+4.
+3, +4, +4.
+0.
So Threnn and Perry, as you guys are headed out through the mess hall and stuff, you notice that you all still have, like, the purple sparks kind of, like, flicking around your hard suits. But, you know, you have upgraded, you have upgraded suits now. Like, whatever, it's fine. But you notice that that's happening. Any final words before we wrap up? You guys have solved the mystery. You've opened the...
Can we still see the cephalopod behind us, like part of it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's still there. It's still there. It's still glowing. As you left the research lab, it's still there, yeah.
Threnn, you want to take a selfie?
I would be honored.
Okay, you guys take a selfie, and then you leave, and you notice these purple sparks. And as you cross through the mess hall into the entry hall, you hear very heavy metallic footsteps coming behind you.
Oh no.
You have been listening to I Should Roll, Antecedents, Episode 1, Conduit. Featuring the voices of Hans Cummings as Cinnamon Dan Kinmav Vas Qwib-Qwib, Maria Damianou as Dr. Perry Winkle, Leah Ryan as Threnn Gordon, Dan Spitaliere as Murro Tauger, and Kaya Renwick as everyone and everything else. Music and sound effects are used under Creative Commons or royalty-free licenses. For the extended credits, please see the show notes. And for more information, please visit ishouldroll.com. Find us everywhere on social media at ishouldroll, and don't forget to leave us a review. I Should Roll is an Intergalactic Improv Initiative production. This fan podcast is a transformative work and is not affiliated with Electronic Arts or BioWare. Thank you for listening. This is Kaya, signing off.